Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to today's daily quiz segment with us, and let us quickly look at the questions that we shall be discussing for the quiz today. The first question on your screen talks about the Dhola Sadia Bridge. The reason why this question has been taken for analysis is a PIB release that talks about how the Honorable Prime Minister of India has inaugurated the Sudarshan Setu. Now, Setu stands for bridge, a connector, connecting Okhla mainland and Bayat Dwarka Island in Gujarat. Now, this bridge, Sudarshan Setu, has come at a cost of about 980 crore, and it is the longest cable-style bridge in the country. And on that note, back to the question, the first statement says the Dhola Sadia Bridge, officially also known as the Bhupen Hazarika Bridge, is a beam bridge in India that connects the northeastern states of Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, and this is a valid statement because the bridge Dhola Sadia or Bhupen Hazarika is actually referred to as, in fact, the first permanent road connection between North Assam and East Arunachal Pradesh. Let's also remember that this has been built on the Lohit River, which is a major tributary of river Brahmaputra. It happens to be a beam bridge. Now, what is a beam bridge? Now, a beam bridge is the simplest structure of bridge form. It's a very simple construction where the entire bridge is supported on many piers. Now, piers are like pillars. They can also be known as abutments. So that is a simple bridge. And yes, the first statement is valid here. Looking at the second statement, it says this bridge spans over about 9.15 kilometer over Brahmaputra River in Assam, and this also is a valid statement, as just we discussed about the Lohit River, that in Assam it spans the Lohit River, which again is a part of Brahmaputra River, and hence we can say that both the statements here are absolutely valid, making C as your correct answer. Now, looking at the second question for the day, this talks about exercise VAJRA PRAHAR. Why has this been picked up for the news? We shall shortly analyze. In the meantime, the first statement says exercise VAJRA PRAHAR. Now, PRAHAR means combat, to attack. It is a joint exercise conducted between Indian Army and US Army Special Forces. Well, this once again is a correct statement because indeed exercise Vajra Prahar is a series of bilateral military exercises between the US and the Indian military, and generally they are conducted in two phases. While in the first phase we talk about combat conditioning. Conditioning here means training or preparation. The stage 2 talks essentially about effectiveness, looking at the result of the training that both the navies undergo. It is the implementation stage, in fact. So yes, the first statement is valid. The second statement talks about another exercise called as Surya Kiran exercise. It says this Surya Kiran is a bilateral joint military exercise between India and Bangladesh. The purpose is to enhance, to improve interoperability in jungle warfare, in forest ecosystem, and counter-terrorism operations. There is something incorrect about this statement. And yes, you're right, it is actually a bilateral joint military exercise, but between India and Nepal. Now let's remember, the aim is yes, counter-terrorism. Indeed, it is meant for interoperability in jungle warfare, which means that this exercise is meant to be conducted in a difficult mountainous terrain under the HADR of UN mandate. So we can say that the second statement becomes invalid. It is not Bangladesh. So hence, just the first statement is right, making A as your correct answer. Now, the reason why we picked up this question is again a release of PIB, which says that India and Japan are conducting a joint exercise referred to as exercise Dharma Garjan. Now, Dharma Garjan translates as the protector of faith. It has begun in Rajasthan on 25th Feb, that is today itself, and this is the 5th edition of Dharma Garjan between both the nations. And this is talking about improving each other's military capabilities as well as self-defense techniques. Now let's proceed with the third question of the day, and this is taken from Science and Astronomy. The question says, which of the following is Jupiter's largest moon? And it is also the largest moon, in fact, in the entire solar system. Is it A, Cassini, or is it B, Mimas? Is it C, Triton, or is it D, Ganymede? And yes, the correct answer here is Ganymede. Talking about Ganymede, let's remember a few things, that it is indeed the largest and the most massive natural satellite of Jupiter as well as the entire solar system. It is therefore referred to as a planetary mass moon, making D your correct answer. The reason why this news was highlighted is due to an article in the Indian Express today, which says that scientists have discovered 3 previously unknown moons of Uranus and Neptune. This is coming after a research of about 20 years. Hence the question. And now let's proceed with the fourth question here. Again, a set of 2 statements. The first says, Nikshay Poshan Yojana, or Nikshay Poshan scheme is a government of India scheme. It's a central government scheme to provide 500 rupees per month for AIDS patient so that they can buy healthy nourishment, healthy food. Is that a correct statement? Indeed, the Nikshay Poshan scheme, it does aim to provide some financial help to patients so that they can purchase healthy supplements, healthy foods, and protect themselves against a disease. But this is not HIV/AIDS. In fact, we are talking about tuberculosis, TB. Hence, the first statement is not correct. The second statement, Nikshay Mitra, a very associated initiative. It is an initiative that provides for additional diagnostic, nutrition, vocational support by elected representatives, corporates, organizations, NGOs, even political parties and individuals. These people together, on a voluntary basis, they contribute for taking care of TB patients. To help the TB patients, people right from individuals to organizations to NGOs, self-help groups can come and contribute so that TB patients get better diagnostic, better treatment, better medication and food, sometimes even counseling. And yes, this is a correct statement. Well, that's the purpose of Nikshay Mitra. Now, let's also remember that Nikshay Mitra was actually initiated in September 2022. The idea was to promote civil society groups. In fact, even political parties can do that if they want, to help on a voluntary basis TB patients in India. Now, TB being one of the most widespread and mortality causing disease in India. And hence, second statement is valid, making B your correct answer. And on that note, let's quickly identify why was this question taken up for analysis. It is due to an article in the Hindu which says that 76% of TB patients received payment for the nutritional support scheme, the Nikshay scheme, as envisaged by the government. Now here there is a gap because not all the patients were able to receive this kind of a monetary help, and that's why the article was important to us. And now let's proceed with the PYQ coming from 2019. It says the word Denisovan is sometimes mentioned in the news, in media. This is in reference to which of the following? Is it A, a kind of fossil of dinosaur? Is it B, one of the early human species? Is it a cave system that's found in northeast India, or is it a geological period in the history of Indian subcontinent? Now, this has B as its valid answer because the word Denisovan is often referred to an extinct species or subspecies of archaic humans. When I say archaic, it means ancient, primitive. That ranged in habitation from Asian region. So they were spanning across the Asian territory. Let's also remember that these are typically associated with the lower and middle Paleolithic period in the ancient history of India. So therefore, B here becomes the valid answer. And now let's quickly analyze the fact of the day. Today we are talking about Purple Fest. The word fest means a festival or a celebration. And in this case also, that is exactly what it talks about. Now, Purple Fest is an event that was held internationally in 2024 in Goa in India. It was known as International Purple Fest. The purpose was to promote the interests of people who are suffering from physical disabilities. Hence, inspired by the success of this international event, the Indian government has now initiated one-day-long Purple Fest in New Delhi. This is being done under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Now let's remember, people with benchmark physical disabilities, they also receive up to 4% reservation in government jobs and educational institutions. The purpose is to promote an inclusive society. Now, on this note, we might also remember a very important initiative taken by the Indian government that was referred to as Sugamya Bharat. Sugamya Bharat meant an initiative which was trying to promote inclusivity, to create an infrastructure in society where people with special needs are equally participant. And in that light, the Purple Fest will be one such initiative where stalls will be organized and organizations which are working in the field of taking care of people with some disabilities will be invited here. They will be invited and they shall showcase their agenda. They shall propagate the rights of people with some special needs. Now, the key activities that will be done in the Purple Fest shall range from, say for example, Amrit Udyan visit, which means that we are trying to create a culture where we can promote employment opportunities for special needs people, as well as Know Your Disabilities, a sensitization campaign, which makes people aware about various disabilities, not only physical, not only mental, not only social, psychological, but also neurological. Apart from that, we will have initiatives like Purple Kaleidoscope, which means various shades, various colors of initiatives taken by the government to promote the help of these people. Apart from that, we will talk about sports. Hence, it will be an event that is talking about many fields, many ways to help people with special needs. Now, this festival will also be a platform for everyone to come up and show their innovative ideas about how to extend an inclusive culture to people with special needs to create a much better, accessible society in India. The fest is also about creating awareness about the kinds of difficulties people experience due to some disability. This will also take care of the smaller subcomponents of disability. For example, women with disabilities. For example, people who are geriatric, elderly people with disability or children with disability, people with multiple benchmark disabilities, as well as those people who, despite being educated, are unable to find employment due to lack of an accessible infrastructure. So all those problems will be tried to solve here. More innovative solutions are being invited from people so that we can remove the prejudice, the stigma, and the stereotypification of disabilities. So once that is removed, indeed we can create better social justice, much more inclusive society, so that society then stops marginalizing people who are very much a part of society and with a just little bit intervention can contribute much more to their growth as well as the growth of society entirely. And on this note, we shall wind up today's segment. I hope you enjoyed it. See you soon with many more such exciting sessions. Thank you so much.